Hello, Global Family. This is Coach Lynn, and I just wanted to weigh in on the discussions that are going on today in the news. What you see if you turn your news on today anywhere in this country is that there are things that we are fighting about. In Baltimore, there's rioting going on. Essentially, the rioting erupted because we had a situation where a young black male walked up on officers and eyeballed them in a way that they felt was negative or derogatory. So they took him into custody, but the thing that's so questionable as to why he ended up dead with a spinal cord injury has erupted after the funeral in Baltimore, where I guess people were trying to demonstrate and say what is going on. These statistics keep growing of young black males somehow being killed or hurt in custody with officers. And then you see today in the news that there are people protesting on the steps of the Supreme Court about same-sex marriages, where they are saying, you know, if we believe in church and state being separate, how can a state give the right of marriages not to occur if it's not a part of religious interpretation? What I want to say to you is what we may be overlooking is the overall message of all of these things. You see, I often come on and talk to you about humanistic perspectives because I personally feel and professionally feel that individuals will thrive and our country will thrive and the world will thrive if we look at each other as human beings. You see, if we look at each other as human beings, then that means that we won't be angry and we won't, try to force any group into a stereotype that we believe has to be the truth. Because in fact, these are our perspectives. Some of them are true to us based on what we've experienced and what we've heard. However, what is truth? So my point to you is today, whether you take the side of the protesters or whether you stand back and say, hey, it's not the protesters who are rioting in the streets of Baltimore and causing the unrest, it's the thugs who see this as an opportunity. Or whether you say, why is the media only talking about those who are rioting in Baltimore and not talking about the overall message of what's happening with black youths in this country and police? Or what if you're one of the people who say, hey, what about the police and the stats that prove that more police die when they are being called into bad neighborhoods or domestic violence disputes, trying to break them up? Or what if you are someone looking from the outside in and have no knowledge of either and say, what the hell is going on in America, the land of the free, the home of the brave? Why is there such unrest in these days on all of these counts? Again, I want to point back to the humanistic perspective. If we all have religion in us, whatever it's called, whatever God it is that you worship, if we all believe that human beings have the equal protection under the law, then there would be no domestic disputes. There would be no problems of women being brutalized every few minutes anywhere in the world. There'd be no problems with different countries going into other countries and literally trying to take them over because of religious disputes. If we all walked amongst each other as human beings with the thought that maybe God is one of us, how would our world be different? So as you give an opinion based on the perspective that you have of this world, stop and ask yourself that for a moment. If we all were just human beings, how many disputes would we not have? Thanks again, Global Family. I'd love to hear from you and know what you're thinking about what I'm saying. Because what I'm saying is not to delineate or to decrease or to minimize the impact of what is happening right now because we don't have a humanistic perspective. All I'm saying is this is food for thought. And next time you make a judgment on someone else for any reason, ask yourself, do you see that person as a human? Prosper.